The first thing, the most important thing to point out here is that when we say sketch, we mean sketch with a pencil on paper. We are going to be using extremely simple tools in our sketching work. Don't be tempted to skip ahead to using software. It's very important that you use pencil and paper, because what we want here is we want to generate the lowest possible fidelity in this prototype. Fidelity means how close does the prototype resemble the final solution. And there's multiple dimensions of fidelity, and prototypes can lie anywhere on the spectrum for each of these dimensions. The fidelity that you want to use depends on the stage of the design process, but it also depends on the goal for the prototype. Recall, what we want right now is we want a testable prototype, but that's it. What we're really testing right now is our conceptual model. So let's talk about visual fidelity. Look and feel are probably the most noticeable dimensions of a prototype's fidelity. And if you don't properly select the appropriate fidelity for the stage that you're at, you can really sidetrack your testing. So if you go high visual fidelity too soon, your users will focus on the visual design, and that is not what we want to test right now. We're going for low visual fidelity. In other words, a pencil and paper sketch. When we talk about functional fidelity, we're asking how much does the prototype help us to understand how the final solution will work? Or is it actually functional? Does it respond to user input? Is it actually interactive? It is entirely possible to do extensive and very inexpensive user testing on static paper-based prototypes. And then content fidelity. So another dimension that can be distracting for users is the content that is displayed in the prototype. So it would be very common in very low content fidelity prototypes to just use squiggly lines instead of headlines, to use what we call lorem ipsum, which is this fake Latin, for any of the content. However, we're going to be going to about here with our content fidelity. And the reason is that if you don't have some words on your sketches, it's going to be very difficult for you to test it. So this is what we mean by a low visual fidelity, a low functional fidelity, but a high content fidelity prototype. This is what your sketches should look like. They are sketches. They're not done using software, but there are some real words here.